Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Overwatch video, likely the final Overwatch video here on the channel, although things could change in the future. Overwatch 2 has been a massive disappointment for me personally. I got really into the game last season. I've played virtually every season of the game, but I got really into it last season, and after playing with it for a while, I kind of just realized all the flaws that the game actually has, and how those flaws are intentionally put there by Blizzard to just make the game as much of a cash cow as humanly possible. Well, the other day they actually put out a blog post, and this was kind of like the final nail in the coffin for me personally, introducing our most exciting season yet, Overwatch 2 Invasion. Mind you, Season 5 just came out for Overwatch 2 a couple of days ago. Do you think they're talking about that? No, they're talking about Season 6. They're already looking so far into the future, which you may think is a good thing, but no. The only reason why they're doing this is because fans are so upset about the lack of PvE in this game, which was the original reason why they made Overwatch 2 to begin with, that they felt like they had to talk about it somehow. They had to do some form of damage control, and this is exactly what they're doing. If you're wondering about Season 5, the season that just came out a couple of days ago, all that's changed is they added a new battle pass. That's it. That's literally all they fucking did. That's it, man. They don't actually care. But here we go. The rise of Null Sector begins with new story missions. And we scroll down here. There's going to be these story missions that take you to Rio de Janeiro and Toronto and Gothenburg with massive maps with complex objectives and in-depth storyline that will guide you along the way. You will fight against the intensified forces of Null Sector, who will continue to attack until you've completely dismantled them. Well, let's just scroll on down here. You can get started on your mission to save the world with the Overwatch 2 Invasion bundle for $15. This bundle includes a bunch of made-up prices, access to the Invasion story missions during the season and permanently after. Then, of course, you get 1,000 Overwatch coins, which has a $10 value. Again, just completely made up. And then you have a brand new Sojourn legendary skin, $19 value. Again, completely made up. They're like, wow, it's a $19 value. Dude, that skin could sell for $1. You just decide to sell them for $19 because that's, you can get away with that, right? So they're trying to get artificially increase the value of the PvE missions themselves by adding in these skins and Overwatch coins. That's basically what they're doing. And for me personally, I'm just so over this game at this point, man, because Overwatch 2, in my opinion, is worse than the original Overwatch in virtually every way. I will say that I enjoy the 5v5 multiplayer content a bit more than 6v6. I think buffing up the tanks was interesting and adding the role passives for damage and support and tank. And I thought that was kind of interesting, right? Which is why I ended up playing the game so much. But after playing so much last season, I think I put in probably 150, 200 hours into Overwatch 2 so far, after putting a couple hundred hours into the original Overwatch as well. Overwatch 2 can be stripped down to this. There's a battle pass, and that is it. There is no other form of progression in the entire game. You have to buy the battle pass if you want the vast majority of its content, and other than that, if you want any content in the game, you have to pay for it. Now, you can play competitive and try to rank yourself up in the competitive mode, which is all anyone ever really plays. Like, competitive has ridiculously fast queues, whereas quick play sometimes has like 7 to 10 minute queues. People don't play quick play because what's even the point? There's really nothing in quick play for you. There's no rewards or anything. At least when you play something like ranked mode, I mean, ranked is basically just quick play plus if you're stuck in elo hell. If you're down there in bronze and silver and you go 5-0 and you still somehow D-rank, you're in that elo hell, which I discussed in my previous Overwatch video. At least when you get some wins, you're actually getting those competitive points to get golden weapons. I think that's the reason why the vast majority of people play the ranked mode, because quick play is virtually the same thing. It's just a little bit faster and has no rewards, essentially. There's not an offense and defense. There's just offense or defense in quick play. It's basically it, right? So when it comes to Overwatch, why would I continue playing this game? I guess that's kind of like the big question, right? I continued playing because I enjoyed the gameplay. I really enjoy trying to get better with all the different heroes. There's a bunch of them in the game. They all have wildly different play styles, and trying to get better with them and actually seeing yourself progress with that character feels really good. When you have a really good match, it does feel really good. But just like I talked about in my Call of Duty videos as well, gameplay alone cannot satiate me as a player anymore, because eventually, I've seen this map a million times. I've played as Junkrat a million times. I have played as Mercy a million times. There's nothing new that I'm going to see here, right? So what the game needs to have is some form of progression, right? Something for you to be working towards, something for you to unlock, something to keep you interested in something besides just the outcome of that one particular match. Even if you have a bad game, or even if you have, teammates that are throwing or quitting or whatever, at least you're working towards something. Well, in Overwatch 2, you're you're not working towards anything. You just aren't. They got rid of every form of progression. There is no progression in the game right now. Basically, it's go play ranked. If you're stuck in elo hell, then you're stuck there. I'm not even kidding, guys. I did a full video on this with like analytical evidence of like showing like exactly how the system works, and like it's scuffed, man. If you have an old account, and you're like stuck in like bronze, silver, low gold, you're just screwed. You're not climbing. That's just how it is, man. Every match, you're gonna have a Mercy on your team that somehow has like 3,000 healing, which makes no sense. Your tank is gonna leave for virtually no reason. Your tank is also gonna try to play somebody like Sigma and not know what his shift does. Like every game, you're gonna have that. Like the winner of any game of like bronze and silver just comes down to one player on either team just not knowing what they're doing, basically, right? So it's just kind of a coin flip as to who wins or loses. And then after that, you get 25 competitive points for a win, and you need 3,000 of them to get a golden weapon. So you're just grinding nonstop, watching your rank stay the same or even go down because you're stuck in elo hell. You have a battle pass to work through if you buy it, and that's basically it. That's what Overwatch has been for me. And when Season 5 came out here, I guess there's a reason why they haven't talked about Season 5, because there's nothing to it, man. There's literally nothing in Season 5. There's a brand new Battle Pass. That's basically it, right? Oh, and there's an event where you can earn 1,500 Overwatch coins if you go through and do a bunch of stuff. And those coins can be used to buy one legendary skin for an Overwatch 1 character, but not Overwatch 2. So there's also that. There's just nothing to this game. I mean, Blizzard has butchered Overwatch horribly, and like I said, I may come back in the future when they actually start adding things like hero mastery missions and things like that. Maybe the PvE will actually be very good, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be spending $15 to actually enjoy it after I bought Overwatch 1. Like, for the people that bought Overwatch 1, we should have access to this content, right? That's the entire point of it. But no, forget those people that actually paid for Overwatch 1. We made Overwatch 2 free, and as a result of it being free, they can charge $20 for one skin in the shop. They could have a battle pass that comes out every season that you have to purchase if you want virtually anything from it. And they also have now just carte blanche to just go and say, oh yeah, we're charging $15 for every single Invasion update that we're going to be adding. Like, it's just, they made the wrong moves at virtually every turn for me personally. And as a result, I'm out. I'm just, they lost me. As someone who put 400 hours into this game, like, I love Overwatch. I love the world, the universe, the characters, the gameplay. But it is the most hollow, soulless game that I've played in a while, except for the other Activision Blizzard games, man. I mean, you look at the state of Call of Duty, you look at the state of Overwatch, Diablo 4 just came out, which lots of people are enjoying, myself included. I played a lot of Diablo 4. I'm currently like level 78, 79. Let me tell you guys, I don't want to like ruin the game for you. When you get to end game, you're gonna be fucking bored. Diablo 4 is the most like boring, grindy game when it comes to end game content, because once you have pretty solid gear and once you kind of figure out your build at least a little bit, to get from like level 70 to level 100, which level 100 is the max level, you're literally just running the same dungeons over and over and over, getting very minimal amounts of XP every single time. Like, there's streamers that I've been watching that have been like live streaming the game nonstop, doing subathons since it came out, and they're only like level 80 because they nerf every single way to level up quickly, because reasons no one really knows why they keep nerfing people's different ways that they figured out to try and level up somewhat quickly in the game. Like, once you have decent gear, you just run the same dungeons, you run your hell tides, you run the same content over and over, praying that one random item that you're missing from your build happens to drop, and if it doesn't, then you're just fucking bored. Like, I don't know, man. Activision Blizzard are the makers of some of the best games out there, but in recent years, the quality has fallen off a cliff, man. It is so bad. And that's from someone who has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in like every single game. World of Warcraft in particular, I have hundreds of days played on my rogue alone, not counting all my other characters. I'd estimate I probably have a year's worth of playtime in that game alone. Hearthstone kind of got to be the same thing, or just constant expansions and constant updates and constant nerfs and changes and stuff like that. It became too expensive to keep up with Hearthstone, so I stopped playing that. Once I got Legend, I was kind of done with that. Overwatch 2, they stripped out virtually any form of progression in exchange for monetization systems. Call of Duty, basically the same thing. No progression, lots of monetization. Like, Activision Blizzard themselves are just... they have so many beloved IPs and games that people just, they know that people are going to want to play them. They want to be part of that universe. They want to play that game. They want to relive the good old days, like, but they make it so damn hard. So there you guys have it. That's pretty much a nail in the coffin for me when it comes to Overwatch. I'm done with it, man. It's not even fun anymore, because like eventually, once you get used to the gameplay and once you played like all the heroes and you picked the ones that you like the most and you got kind of good with those heroes and you started playing a bunch, you know, eventually you realize it just, your enjoyment of the game is pretty much dependent on whether or not your teammates in ranked suck or not. And more often than not, they're going to, because human beings are fallible. So yeah, I mean, maybe when they update the game in the future, they keep talking about Season 6. Maybe with Season 6, I'll come back and try it. But for now, I'm pretty much done with Overwatch. Pretty much done with most Blizzard games right now, to be honest, because they're all just mindless and boring and soulless as compared to what they used to be. And when it comes to COD stuff, obviously, I keep covering that here in the channel. And hopefully COD 2023 is going to be good. But if history is any indicator, we're going to have to wait and see how things are going to play out. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed it more than anything, but leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.